A new message on the impact of Trump's presidency from a political expert. Comedian Chris Rock in his new special talks about bullies, and he makes the argument that while bullying is bad, if as a culture nobody knows how to take on a bully, then bullies can win.
The cast of The Apprentice is running the world. Trump, the daughter, Omarosa. We need bullies. That's how Trump became president. That's exactly what happened. We got rid of bullies, a real bully showed up, and nobody knew how to handle it.
Trump threw his phone across the room when he saw Chris Rock's J.D. Vance roast going viral. Multiple sources claim he was screaming, "Nobody roasts my people except me."
That his popularity came partly from, quote, early opposition to the Iraq War and public disenchantment with the Bush era.
They run the world, man. Yo, man, this crazy.
For Democrats depressed about Trump, Rock also has a theory. He's building on something the New York Times observed right when Obama was first inaugurated.
So here's the crazy thing. It might just work out. Trump might work out. Yeah, I said it. Trump might work out. I mean, think about it this way.
We're breaking down the most savage jokes from Rock's comedy Annihilation and showing you exactly how Trump reacted behind closed doors. The relationship between these two might never be the same after what Rock revealed. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Chris Rock took a wrecking ball to J.D. Vance's carefully constructed image with a brutal comedy set that did way more than just get some laughs. Rock went for the jugular, systematically dismantling the whole "I understand the working class" persona that Vance has been selling to voters. He pointed out the massive gap between Vance's humble beginnings and his current lifestyle, showing how the guy who wrote about hillbilly problems is now sipping fancy lattes that cost more than what many working folks make in an hour.
I think people overlook George Bush's contributions to black history. Bush was so bad, he gave us Obama. You forget that, don't you? Bush was so bad that people said, hey, maybe this black guy has the answers. George Bush is a black revolutionary. Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, George Bush.
What made Rock's takedown so effective wasn't just the jokes themselves, but how they exposed the naked truth about Vance's political evolution. Remember when Vance used to call Trump terrible names? Rock didn't let anyone forget it. He highlighted how Vance did a complete 180, transforming from a never-Trumper into practically Trump's #1 fan once he realized which way the political winds were blowing. Nothing says political courage like abandoning all your principles the minute they become inconvenient, right? Rock was relentless, portraying Vance as someone who's selling the working class struggle while sipping on a $15 0-cent latte from Whole Foods. That hit home, because it perfectly captured the phoniness of Vance's current persona, a millionaire pretending he still understands the struggles of regular people. It's the kind of criticism that exposes not just hypocrisy, but a complete betrayal of the very communities Vance claims to champion. According to our sources, Trump initially chuckled at some of Rock's jokes, but his mood darkened considerably when the comedian started framing Vance as nothing more than Trump's puppet, someone with no backbone who's completely sold out his principles for political advancement.
We need bullies. That's how Trump became president. That's exactly what happened. We got rid of bullies, a real bully showed up, and nobody knew how to handle it.
Trump's not used to comedians who aren't afraid to challenge his authority, and Rock definitely wasn't pulling any punches. What really sent Trump over the edge was when Rock's routine started getting massive audience approval. Each laugh and cheer was like a direct hit to Trump's ego, suggesting that his VP pick might become more of an embarrassment than an asset. Nothing terrifies Trump more than losing control of the narrative, especially when it comes to how his team is perceived. Our exclusive sources tell us that Trump completely lost it when the roast went viral, actually throwing his phone across the room while screaming, "Nobody makes my people look stupid except me." This outburst reveals something crucial about Trump's mindset. He wasn't angry because Rock was wrong, or because he wanted to defend Vance. He was furious because someone else was defining his narrative and making his running mate look weak. That phone-throwing fit wasn't just about losing control of the narrative, it was about something far more personal. What makes a narcissist angrier than watching someone else humiliate their subordinate? Having that subordinate receive praise in the first place. Our inside sources reveal Trump's public rage masks a twisted reality. The former president secretly enjoyed watching Vance get knocked down a peg. Trump's relationship with running mates has always been, let's call it, complicated. Remember when Mike Pence was basically trapped in Trump's shadow for 4 years? Well, history's repeating itself. Multiple insiders tell us Trump's been seething over media coverage that portrays Vance as the intellectual heavyweight of their ticket. Donald hates when anyone in his circle gets too much positive attention. He sees it as stealing what belongs to him. One former Trump aide confided, "The idea that JD might be the brains of the operation? Absolute kryptonite to Trump's fragile ego." Here's where it gets juicy. Despite his public tantrum, Trump reportedly watched Rock's routine multiple times, chuckling at certain parts before catching himself. It's like when you laugh at a joke about your friend, then remember you're supposed to be offended. Except in Trump's case, he wasn't actually offended at all. Need proof that Trump secretly enjoyed the roast? According to 2 separate sources, he's been quoting Rock's meanest jokes in private meetings. Imagine being Vance, trying to contribute during strategy sessions, only to have your boss throw Rock's insults back at you. Talk about a toxic workplace. The relationship has reportedly deteriorated further, with Trump now introducing his running mate at campaign events with backhanded compliments that echo Rock's criticisms. It's Trump's passive-aggressive way of saying, "Don't forget who's boss around here, smarty pants." Trump's public defense of Vance has been about as enthusiastic as someone forced to compliment their ex's new haircut. He's doing the minimum required to look like he cares, but he's not actually bothered by the content of Rock's jokes, an insider revealed. The former president's lukewarm response speaks volumes about his true priorities. What we're witnessing is classic Trump, using humor and insults as weapons to maintain dominance. Every time Vance gets too much attention or speaks up with ideas of his own, Trump apparently drops one of Rock's zingers to put him back in his place. It's political hazing at its finest. So what's the moral of this Trump-Vance-Rock triangle of drama? When comedians like Chris Rock step up to the political mic, they're not just telling jokes, they're yanking off the masks these politicians wear. Rock didn't just make us laugh, he performed a public service by exposing the political theater happening right before our eyes. The beauty of comedy is that it strips away the fancy suits and rehearsed speeches. When Rock pointed out the contradictions in Vance's carefully crafted image, he revealed how politics often works as performance art with very sensitive performers who can't handle when someone changes their script. Truth wrapped in humor hits differently. That's why it stings so much.